My life with Cowley County College began in the fall of 1965. I graduated from Ark City High School in May of 1965. The high school was located where the Brown Center stands today. The north door of the building was approximately where the north door of this room is located. I walked out of the north door of the high school and into the front door of Cowley Johnson in what was then known as Ark City JUCO, the fall of 1965, and part of my heart has never left. One of the first people I met was the Dean of Students, Mr. Scott. Our locker was right outside his office, and every morning he would greet my friend Ann and I. He truly exemplified what a Dean of Students should be. He was there for all of us and was totally committed to and involved with all aspects of student life. Even after graduating from ACJC, Mr. Scott and I continued to stay close. I would help him distribute Queen Archelaus ballots and would sometimes help him as he was working on the statistics books. I didn't realize it at the time, but he started me on the path of my future career and my involvement with students. After graduating from ACJC in May of 1967, and after a short time away from Ark City, I returned and began working at Rodeo Meats. It was located on the land that the Hafner Center now stands on. In the early 70s, the seeds of the foster parent program were planted. A group of us would meet on Friday nights at a local club, the Eagles. The coach of the men's basketball team at Cowley, Jerry Mullins, would join us. Jerry's favorite language was basketball. We began going to the games, and before long we were chartering buses and following the teams to out-of-town games, many times making fool of ourselves. Allen County comes to mind. There was only a small cafeteria at the time, only seating 150 students and no dorms. The kids lived in apartments and rentals around the college. We began inviting them into our homes and cooking for them. We decided that we needed a name, so Wanda Swintz and Coach Mullins came up with the name, the One-on-One Club, and we were official. Coach Mullins left at the end of the 70s and a new head coach was named, Mike Ferroni. Mike fit right into our group and we followed his team. In the fall of 1980, I came home to Cowley and went to work for Mike. He was also the financial aid director, so I found myself surrounded not only by student athletes, but all students. Mike left after his first season, so the athletes he had brought with him were uncertain of their future here at Cowley. I lived in a house only 4 blocks from the campus, and before long it became a place for the kids to gather. I had men's and women's basketball and volleyball teams at my house frequently. During this time, I started teaching some night classes and fell in love with the classroom. I decided to go back to school and get my bachelor's degree. The administration at Cowley worked with me by letting me take longer lunch hours to attend classes at Southwestern. Then all of a sudden, I found myself a single parent, raising 2 daughters, working full-time, teaching 2 night classes, and attending Southwestern. If it hadn't been for several of the volleyball and basketball girls, Karen, Lori, Janelle, Rosalie, and their trainer Martin, I wouldn't have been able to handle it. Several of them rented one of the apartments in the house, and finally I just had them move in with me and the girls at no charge. They became my babysitters. What fun we had. Here's the volleyball and basketball girls dressed for Halloween as a 6-pack of tall curs and a 6-pack of short curs. I continued having men's and women's basketball and volleyball players for the next 15 years. It wasn't until 1995 that I became involved with Cowley baseball. It was the first day of classes. I think it was my Thursday morning intro to micro class when I had the most profound God moment. I had lost my first child, a little boy named Chad, who only lived 16 days. Any of you in this room that has lost a child know the grief that you carry with you the rest of your life. It's like a tear in your heart. That morning I was standing at the front of the room, welcoming the students into my classroom. They didn't always make eye contact, but a young man walked into my classroom, made eye contact, had the cutest grin and a twinkle in his eye, and Chad popped in my mind. I knew then why God was bringing all these young people into my life. He was using them to help stitch up the tear in my heart. I have many stories that I could tell, but that would take hours. I do, however, have to tell you this one about Mr. Bergman. Early in the semester, the students were given an assignment to use the templates in Word to create a cover letter and resume. I suggested to the class that they make this assignment relevant, as they would be applying for jobs in the near future and they could just update it. Well, when I pulled up Grant's cover letter and resume to grade it, he was applying to the United States Postal Service for the stamp licking position. Some of his qualifications were he had the perfectly shaped tongue with just the right amount of moisture content, and he had perfect hand-eye coordination so that the stamp would be securely fastened and in the right position on the envelope. After laughing until I cried, I knew that this young man was going to be in my life. The next day, I asked him to come into my office. I think he thought he might be in trouble, but instead I asked him to come to dinner and he could bring a friend. That's when Pirtle came into my life. What a ride they took me on for the next 2 years, all the way to Grand Junction, Colorado, and the 1997 National Baseball Championship. What a week that was. If by the end of that week you didn't love baseball and the kids that played it, you didn't have a heart. It was during this magical week that I met Casey and Josh. The next year was pretty magical also, as Josh and Casey took me on another ride to Grand Junction and the back-to-back baseball championship in 1998. That year was also filled with incredible moments. Casey, it's such an honor to share this remarkable day with you. I am so proud of you. You were not only an incredible catcher, but you were an incredible young man as well. I sure miss your big bear hugs. It's also bittersweet today because your dad isn't here with us. He was such a remarkable man and was so supportive of you and this baseball program. I do know, however, that he is here with us in spirit. He would always say to me, "Peg, you should be in the Hall of Fame." Well, Ted, it happened. Thank you for sharing your son with me. We miss you. The next year brought Brock and Patty. Brock and Patty, look at your young selves. I am so proud of you, Brock. Thank you for the beautiful nomination letter and for staying in my life and sharing your beautiful family with me. Your parents, Steve and Beth, are some of my favorite people. I love you, Jess, Briggs, Bryn, and Grant. You are part of my family. The next group, Dustin, West, and John, were with me during an exciting time of my life. An amazing man had come into my life, and I was worried about how he was going to take to my involvement with my kids. I invited him to come to dinner with the guys one evening. I had a small kitchen with a small round dining table. After the guys left, Gary looked at me and said, "I get it. They still need a mom influence, and you need them more. There's a problem, though. We are going to need a bigger table." So not only did he build me a bigger table, he married me, and the fun continued. This is the girls' basketball team sitting around the table. Gary loved women's basketball, and we never missed a game. One day after class, Coach Saya came to me with a favor. There was a young international women's basketball player that we were in jeopardy of losing. She had lost a family relative that summer and was having a hard time adjusting. She was in the classroom by my office, so I waited for her and asked her to come to dinner. Gary fell in love with her, and Petra became ours. Here she is snuggling with my grandson, Jacob. The baseball guys kept coming every year. Dave and Darren gave me the best young men, not only great athletes, but great people. Also during this time, we had several volleyball and women's basketball players and one lone track athlete. Kevin, bless your heart, you fit right in. I love that you came back to Cowley as a coach later. These four, Hodge, B. Mitch, Dabbs, and Head, helped me through a very difficult time in my life. They were with me when Gary died. They brought joy in my life when I needed it most. Hodge could always make me laugh. He was my Jerry Seinfeld. When I moved to town, they showed up with 4 or 5 pickups and some of the baseball team and moved me in several hours. Some of my fondest memories are the all-night tuck games. I think I'm up for one more, guys. Thank you so much for being in my life, and I love you. I was still involved with volleyball and basketball during this time. Some of the most rewarding relationships were with the international students. They are truly awe-inspiring. They are away from home, maybe for the first time, not familiar with the culture, and struggling with the language barrier. They are so grateful to be here and work so hard to adapt. What would start out as a lot of hand gestures the first part of the semester would become full-blown conversations by the end of the semester. I continued in the foster parent program until I became a dorm manager in 2012. I had 72 students that I was responsible for. I loved it. If I baked cookies, the lobby would magically fill up in anticipation of a cookie or two. I would feel so bad when I would have my foster kids over for dinner and my dorm kids would look at me with such soulful eyes. I quit participating in the foster parent program and the dorm students became my foster kids. The foster parent program just keeps on giving as I receive Christmas cards, wedding announcements, birth announcements from many of my foster kids, now adults who have grown into amazing wives, mothers, husbands, and fathers. I want to thank them for all the joy they brought into my life. I love all of you. In closing, I want to thank my beautiful family who indulged my passion for Cowley athletics. You are my life. The amazing coaching staff that recruit amazing student athletes, and to Cowley College for being my second home since the fall of 1965. Cowley has been there for me through the good times and bad times in my life. To any of you who have not participated in the foster parent program, do consider it. It is so easy. Just welcome them into your home, support their academics and their sport, feed them, and most importantly, be there for them when they need a parent. I would highly recommend that you include an international athlete. They are truly amazing. Once again, thank you for this amazing honor. As you have seen, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the young people I've highlighted. God bless Cowley and its nationally ranked athletic programs. Thank you.